All right, guys, and we are back here with the OBS Chevy Part 3, right? Yeah, Part 3. So we're here. If you guys didn't check out the last video, I suggest you go do that because there's lots of sweet tech in there and stuff, and you can go check it out. But now we have what everyone's been waiting for. It's like, well, what does it sound like? What's it drive like? So here we are. You guys seen it in the last video, and everything's all sweet and cool with the 96 OBS. So now let's get into the action of it. Everyone remembers Matt.
What's up, guys?
And if you watch these videos back to back, you're gonna go, "Hey, they're wearing the exact same clothes." And yes, we filmed these back to back. So
yeah, well, the thing is we're in Canada, and it's like mid-October. As you can see, the leaves are falling, and it's going to be snowing here, like probably tomorrow. So yeah, it's time for our vehicles to go away, and they're going to get this done before it's snowy.
They're going to the promised land. So everything we store everything every winter. So if you're wondering what we're going to do in the winter time, that's a good question. So, but for now, why don't you go fire this bad boy up for us? See how smooth that is, guys? It's like it's factory, except until you go to the back. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff there. Nice little lope to it there.
Yeah, hashtag rate my chop.
Yeah.
It's not great, but it's okay.
It's good, yeah. But it's funny because it's just from the front it sounds factory, really.
Yeah, and like this exhaust, I think it's like a 20-inch MagnaFlow dual in, dual out. It was the same exhaust that was on the truck before, so I've done nothing to it since. Just hooked up the Y pipes, and this is kind of the result I got. It's a little bit louder because there's no cats anymore.
And like a cam will give you some volume and chop and stuff like that too. So
yeah, so it's pretty subdued. It's not as rowdy as the Redbird, but it does good.
What do you say we go take it for a drive and just see what's how its manners are and how she goes?
Sure,
so
sounds good.
Let's climb in.
Let's do it.
Okay, guys, we're in the OBS. It's the 96 Chevy with the 6-liter in it, and we're gonna go for a little cruisy spin. So, as everybody knows, we've had this truck in the family for like ever. It was my grandfather's truck, and then he got a hold of it after that, and he's had it ever since. And now it's kind of getting some new life breathed into it, and which is really neat. So far though, like, you can't even tell there's anything in it, really. Like,
no, it's pretty smooth for being modified. That being said, it's not tuned all that well because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sure with proper tuning it'll be a little more drivable. The transmission probably needs some modification in terms of the shift points and all that stuff, but yeah, it'll go and get cat food, so I mean, good enough.
But it's funny, like, even like the tune isn't right and all that jazz, but it's still, it's smooth. Like, it sounds like it used to, you know what I mean? And until you see right there, once you start getting up into the RPM, then you're like, oh hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's when it starts sounding like something else, you know what I mean? How is it your throttle response and all that stuff? Is it just day and night way different?
Yeah, like, it's not even the same truck, right, in terms of that. And I mean, this still, on the scale of like performance LS's, is not where it needs to be. Yeah. But it's better than what it was. So
yeah, right.
It's a work in progress, little by little. The more that I learn, the better it'll get. And of course, the more money a guy has, the better it'll get. So. That's
true. Yeah, you can't do anything cool without money, and that's all it takes, right? It's just cash and time and patience.
About the biggest thing with the drivability with this is the fact that it's got a like 1600 stall stock converter. So it doesn't. This thing starts making steam at about 3,000 RPM, and this thing locks, like, it doesn't allow it to get up into the RPMs for a while, and then when it does, it's like, oh, okay, now we're making power. Right. So yeah, the converter and the driveline is definitely holding it back. But again, it's going to be modified at some point.
Yeah, and I mean, because on paper, if you were to tell somebody that and like, you know, you go, oh, well, no, this is its final form, they'd be like, well, why the fuck are you doing it that? Yeah, like, why are you doing it that way, right? But it's there's no, it wouldn't be practical to do your stall and everything and then switch out transmissions anyway. So for all the haters out there, there's a method to his madness.
Yeah,
he's not a moron, you know. Like,
and I know the 4L60E sucks, but it's just more or less a cam and some springs, so it's not going to be wailing on it that hard. When I turbo it, it'll have a 4L80E, so I can really send it to the moon.
Yeah, and that's once that happens, you can really lay into it and not worry about it, right? Because sure, you could turbo this thing, you know, on the 6-liter on the 4L60, but you'll send shrapnel to Mars.
Yeah,
you know?
it will Hiroshima, that transmission.
Yeah, so it's a work in progress, guys. Like, I can't wait to see its next rendition, because it's crazy how day and night this truck is. Like, you guys, it's hard to like convey how sluggish and like old the old 5.7 was. You know what I mean? It was
tired. It was very tired. It had a bunch of tune-ups and stuff, but it just, I don't know what it needed. It really didn't use oil. I just don't know. I don't know what it was.
It was just hurt. It was old. It's like people. You get old and you just stop working right. You know what I mean? So it was time, and it's funny when we drive this thing around, because it's a different truck. You can just you breathe new life into this thing.
Oh,
you know?
It's happy.
And it does one-wheel peels like you guys wouldn't even believe.
Oh yeah, the open diff life is real.
Yeah.
And the fact that the tires are like pretty much dry rotted because they are 10 years old.
Yeah.
As soon as it spins one of the tires, it just erupts into smoke. It's just, it's a sad display. So I honestly haven't felt what this thing really pulls like, because as soon as it develops any kind of power, it just blows the wheel off.
Yeah, right.
And, you know, I haven't really felt this thing haul ass yet, and haven't really tried because I'm just trying to be nice to it. So
yeah, just been kind of driving it around and feeling it out, letting it learn its tune and all that stuff, and so far so good. Like it drives beautifully and it rides good, and it's not even loud on the highway. Like it's nice.
No, it's definitely reasonable.
We can't tell you what it sounds like on cruise because we already went over that, but it's good. This is the most freeway use this truck sees. So
yeah, just booting around the city. If I'm gonna go anywhere far, I just take my other truck.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, these are not our dailies, and for a lot of you guys might be going like, what's a daily? Because you're from Florida or California, where you can drive a Z06 Corvette all year round. But we get a lot of snow. 7 months of our year is damn near winter time, and we have to have our go fast cars and our dailies, right? So
these are going away tomorrow, and probably won't pull them out until like what, early April?
Yeah, like late March, early April. Everything's going to go away until, so that includes like the Bird and this truck, and it's a sad time, but we don't abuse our cars like that, and we won't drive them. Not only that, but it's just unsafe when we're making decent power and
street slicks and snow don't mix.
Exactly. So, but it's kind of nice to just get one last good drive in you, And I'm glad it's something like this, where it was like, this is like the epitome of built, not bought,
Yeah.
Like, it's just every aspect of it. It's just like, oh, hey, well, I got this engine from this old junker, or and you put it all together, and now it's something sick, right?
That's the beauty of a vehicle like this, is it's like performance, but I could also like haul stuff to the dump.
Yeah, you could.
Can you do that in a car? I don't think so.
I can't do that in the Bird. I tried.
I actually have. I've rolled in here with my cammed ass 6-liter with shit in the box, and I was like, yeah, I'm here for the dump. It just blows the tire off.
Man. It never used to do that.
No.
Even brand spanking new, it would never do that. You know what I mean? Like, because what's this thing geared like?
308. Also a problem.
So you have like the tallest gears of all time.
The tallest gears ever. Like this thing, the driveline definitely needs some love. It needs a locker. It needs some better gears. It needs a 4L80, and then we can start really experiencing what it'll do, and then we can go turbo and really start to make it crazy. Put it into asshole mode here.
My equivalent of second.
See what we can do. Because the transmission doesn't shift where the shit because of the computer, it's not set right.
Yeah. This truck's never been that fast in its existence.
It boogies.
It does boogie. Actually, you kind of caught me off guard by that hit. Holy shit.
Yeah, like when you put it in, like set it manual gear, it'll eat, but it wants to downshift too fast or upshift. So all of a sudden, like you're way too low of an RPM, and then you hit it, and it just bogs.
Yeah, you can't wind it out because you got a cam in there.
It wants to be at 3,000 to make any power, and if you set it too low, it's just like, no, I'm not making anything down here.
That hits way harder than actually I was anticipating. That's really funny. Because like I'm used to the bird now, especially after like the heads cam, like the thing boots, but like that actually like surprised the shit out of me there.
It'll go.
It's not.
But then, of course, the first thing that happened just blew the tire off.
Yeah, I don't know if the microphone will be able to pick that up, but all I heard out of this window was.
Yeah. Just loses the tire. And so, I mean, we've got a bunch of work to do to get it to a place where it'll be, a lot more fun. But this is a start.
It's a damn good start. Like, and let's be real, like a 6-liter with a cam, like. You're making good horsepower already. Like, I bet you're making 150 more horse than it was factory.
Well, yeah. It is low compression.
Yeah.
Because I designed it that way because I knew I was going to throw boost at it.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to get it all wound up on compression because that's just asking for trouble. So if it was a straight NA engine, I would have increased the compression ratio. Probably would have had a little more sauce, but.
It's just not the direct. See, that's what
it just needs that boost.
I was talking about that in the last video. It just make sure when you're doing this thing, you think ahead and make sure you know what you're getting yourself into. Because if you buy everything and make high compression and then down the line you're like, well, I'm going to boost it. Well, it doesn't work that way. You're gonna.
I mean, guys do it, but.
Yeah, but if you have a high compression boost engine, like you're asking for trouble unless you planned for that. You know what I mean? So find a good setup, guys, and just run with it. That's what he's doing. And now he's got like one of the cooler OBSs in this city for sure.
That's a red light.
And that's a red light.
Shit.
Well, yeah, it sounds deadly.
Just gonna work on that suspension. Because holy hell, it's got some body.
We should do a full Hotchkiss kit in this truck.
Yeah, or Ride Tech makes a cool kit. Elevated Concepts makes a cool kit.
Yeah.
Everyone makes. But
that's
it's
the
just
beauty of the OBS, though. Like, if you want parts for the OBS, well, bud, you got parts.
Yeah.
There's an aftermarket like crazy for these trucks.
And actually, it's funny because there's a huge aftermarket for square bodies because they were so big. And I think what's happening right now is the square body is evolving into now people want these ones.
Yeah.
Because they're almost like that age now, and the parts are definitely more plentiful for a square body than this, but this slowly is picking up. Like you can get coilover conversions, anywhere for a square body. These ones, not so much yet, but it's showing up. There's a couple of small boutique shops that are starting to crank them out.
Well, and the thing is I think the square bodies are getting so hard to get a hold of.
Yes.
Finding a good one and for a reasonable price because they have skyrocketed, that guys are looking elsewhere in Chevy truck territory, you know what I mean? So guys are looking at, even me, like for my next project, I've been kicking around the idea of doing an OBS because, do you know why? They're everywhere.
Literally everywhere.
Like everywhere. Finding a clean one, that's kind of a different story, but in terms of...
well, especially up here in the Great White Frozen Wasteland.
Yeah, salt just destroys everything.
All these trucks, and mine included, have been winter driven, and they get salt on them, and it just eats them to nothing. So to find one that isn't full of rust is even tougher.
Yeah.
That's the one thing, and that'll be after all the mechanical shit's done. The final form will be body, paint, finish it right off, and then it's... a project's never done. But
no, it's an ongoing thing. Even when you think it's done, it's not really that done. You know what I mean?
No, there's never a done project. There's always something you can do. There's something you can change, and that's the fun of this all.
I hope you enjoyed watching the OBS. It's not done by any means. There's still going to be lots of stuff to do, but it takes time and it takes some money. And
we're in the Canadian season known as parts collecting season.
It's this part season, yeah.
So now we'll collect parts over the winter, and then when it's spring again, we'll get our vehicles out of the storage, and then we'll get to working on them, and there'll be lots more to see then. But I mean, if you've got questions or comments or anything like that, put them in the comments below, and I'll answer them. I'll try to help you guys out with what you're up to, with what I know. I'm no expert, but
yeah, I want to hear.
I know something.
Yeah, I want to hear what you guys think and what you think of these kinds of videos and stuff. Like, shoot a question, and we'll get right to them. And
what should I do next? Should I do my suspension? Should I do my transmission? Should I do my rear end? What do you recommend? You know, I'm thinking like a 4.6 drop. I don't know. Put it in the comments. Let's have a conversation about it.
Yeah, you betcha. And as always, guys, make sure you like and subscribe, because I like sharing this kind of stuff. As you know, we're a small channel, and I just like showing this type of crap to everybody, because this is what I like watching on YouTube. I watch this type of shit all the time. You know, and the way I thought about it, I was like, well, we're doing cool shit. Might as well we'll spread the love, right?
Sure.
So make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video, guys.